To Des. Little review. I've just put on for the first time the band Off and their first 4 EP records. So a compilation of the first 4 EPs they put out. I like the Black Flag compilation that got put out. People state that this is essentially the Off LP, so it's the self-titled debut record. I'm a big fan of the Nervous Breakdown record in particular. I like Keith Morris, I like his performance, and I like what the band was then. I don't really like what the band turned off into. It just didn't suit me and my tastes. So this should have really been pristine, perfect for me. They did their best. I mean, production-wise, it's funny how we've come decades upon decades into the future to re-record what could be more early Black Flag numbers, but the production doesn't have the impact in the kick. It's mad because back then they were probably trying to get so much of a good sound out of it. Now they're obviously trying to hold back and have this retro sounding record. And in doing so, there's a dishonesty with the production. It doesn't have the impact, it don't have the power to kick the surge of natural energy that early Black Flag stuff had. That being said, it's a very consistent record. It is good. If you like that sort of stuff, I mean, if you don't like one song at 52 seconds long, you got another one coming up at 1 minute 3. And really, the only thing you can't sort of get along with, if you like the sound, is either the vocal performance or the riff. We're kind of just messing around with one riff for the most part throughout each and every number. So if you like the riff, you're happy. If not, just wait a minute and then you'll have the next riff coming up on a new track. I think, you know what I mean, on the 4th EP, well, let's say, let's have a look through the song titles, right? I Don't Belong. Now I'm... F People. Full of The guy's knocking on a little bit. I don't want to be hearing these immature sort of song titles and lyrical themes. I would understand it. I mean, it's cringy enough when it's a young band coming together, right? And Baby's first punk rock record. This is just immature to me, and it feels like they're too busy trying to grasp something that's been dead and done, as opposed to creating something new whilst holding on to the spirit of what once was. And that upsets me. Vice has put it out, and I can't stand Vice. Vice is, from what I'm aware, Vice News is dead and done at this moment in time, which is good. And I don't know why they've created partnership with Vice in order to put this record out. It sort of gives that air of... I think that Cerebral Ballsy did the same thing. And although I do like that band, it sort of comes with this false air to it, you know, this lack of organic. You're having this soft organisation push the record with the contacts, with the media contacts and all this, like a media show, as opposed to investing your time and effort into something organic and pure. And that's my perception of it, just by default. You know what I mean? With brands, you have a brand identity. And with Vice, it doesn't correlate with me like it would have if it was Off putting a record out under whichever other label or branding. You know what I mean? Vice isn't known for putting music out. Not known for putting music out. It's not established itself in my mind as a hardcore punk, honest organisation. So overall, I'm going to say the record's good. If you like the sound, you love the record. But for me, as somebody who really likes the Nervous Breakdown EP, absolutely adores the sound of Keith Morris on the Black Flag records, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'll meet you halfway. I won't give it a bad rating because I don't think it's a bad sound. I don't think that it's bad music. But in comparison to what once was, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not what it could have been. And a lot of that I'll give down to the production value. The riffs were pretty good. There's a couple of good riffs in there. They did their thing instrumentally right, correct? Keith Morris could have done something a bit different, approach things in a different way. And the production value, they were trying too hard to create something that it wasn't with the production, so it's quite upsetting with that. Regardless, 5 out of 10 off the first 4